Well, welcome to summer. A few simple steps taken before a heat wave arrives can make the difference between healthy, productive plants and a garden that's struggling just to survive. Today I'm going to share 10 proven ways to protect your vegetables during a heat wave, including one thing that I always do first, one watering mistake that catches many gardeners by surprise, and one simple trick that can dramatically reduce heat stress in your garden. So if you're ready, let's go. Hey everyone, it's Angela Allen. Welcome back to the Handmade Homestead and Garden. Well, summer is one of my favorite times in the garden. Tomatoes are beginning to ripen, peppers are filling out, cucumbers are climbing, and every day seems to bring another full harvest basket to the table. But summer also brings one of the biggest challenges we face as gardeners: extreme heat, and with that, extreme humidity. Fortunately, there are several simple things we can do before and during a heat wave to help our gardens stay healthy and productive. So let's jump right in and start with the first, and in my opinion, the most important one. Number 1, mulch your garden before the heat arrives. Whenever I know a stretch of extremely hot weather is on the way, the first thing I check is my mulch. A generous layer of mulch is one of the easiest and most effective ways to protect your vegetable garden during a heat wave. I like to keep 2 to 4 inches of organic mulch around my plants at all times anyway. And you can use the mulch you prefer: clean straw, shredded leaves, compost, or my favorite, untreated grass clippings that have been dried slightly before being applied. Think of mulch as insulation for your soil. Instead of the hot sun baking the ground all day, mulch helps keep the root zone cooler, slows evaporation, and holds valuable moisture where your vegetables need it most. It suppresses weeds, which means your vegetables don't have to compete with unwanted plants for water during those hot days. Many gardeners focus on watering but forget that without mulch, most of that water is going to evaporate, and at a much faster rate. By protecting the soil first, you're helping the watering last longer. Now that we've protected the soil, let's make sure our plants are strong enough to handle the stress that's coming. Tip number 2, give your garden a light feeding before the heat wave. Healthy plants always handle stress better than weak ones. If I know an extended heat wave is in the forecast, I'll often give my vegetables a light feeding before the hottest weather arrives. Notice I said before the heat, not during it. Heavy fertilizing during extreme temperatures encourages tender new growth, and that's exactly what we don't want. Young, soft growth requires more water and is much more vulnerable to heat stress. Instead, if your plants need it, give them a balanced feeding a few days ahead of the heat. Well-fed plants have stronger root systems and are simply better prepared to withstand difficult growing conditions. Speaking of working hard, the next tip may be the single most important thing you can do in hot weather. Before we get to tip number 3, I want to just interject a bonus tip that may not apply to every plant or to every situation, but I often feel like it's a good idea to prune back some of my plants, to take off some of the extra foliage, and with my fruit trees, some of the extra height. Now, I don't take off a lot. I don't want to stress the plant, but removing some of the extra foliage that's kind of past its prime, looking a little yellow, looking a little limp, that is going to help reduce the water needs of the plant too. But don't take off so much that you're going to sunburn your plant. All right, so let's get to tip number 3. Tip number 3, water early in the morning. If you're wondering when to water your vegetable garden during a heat wave, the answer is simple. Water as early in the morning as you can, just before sunrise or right after. Morning watering allows moisture to soak deep into the soil before the intense afternoon sun begins pulling it back out through evaporation. And more importantly, your vegetables begin the day fully hydrated, giving them a much better chance of handling several hours of extreme heat. When I water in the morning, I also have time to see if any of the plants are beginning to show signs of stress before the temperatures really climb. I try to avoid watering in the middle of the afternoon unless it's absolutely necessary, because much of that water will evaporate quickly before it can benefit the roots. But timing isn't the only thing that matters. How you water is just as important. Tip number 4, water deeply and don't forget your containers. During a heat wave, it's much better to water deeply than to sprinkle lightly every day. Deep watering encourages roots to grow further down into the soil, where temperatures stay cooler and moisture lasts much longer. Plants with deeper root systems are naturally better equipped to survive periods of extreme heat and dry weather. Shallow watering, on the other hand, encourages roots to stay near the surface where the soil dries out first. Container gardens deserve special attention during hot weather because they dry out much faster than garden beds. If you're growing vegetables in pots, fabric grow beds, or hanging baskets, check them every morning. During prolonged heat waves, you may find that they need a second watering later in the day too. And dark colored containers, those heat up especially fast in full sun, so don't assume they're getting enough moisture just because you watered yesterday. Now that we've covered keeping your plants hydrated, let's talk about another simple way to reduce heat stress altogether. Tip number 5, give your vegetables a break from the afternoon sun. Even vegetables that love sunshine can benefit from a little protection during extreme heat. One of the easiest ways to protect vegetables from intense summer temperatures is by using shade cloth during the hottest part of the afternoon. Shade cloth reduces the intensity of the sun without blocking out all of the light that your vegetables need to keep growing. And you don't need anything elaborate either. A simple frame made from PVC pipe, wooden stakes, or metal hoops can support shade cloth over raised beds or garden. And if you don't have shade cloth, lightweight floating row covers or breathable garden netting can also provide some temporary protection while still allowing plenty of air circulation, and you can water through it easily. Remember, the goal isn't to keep your vegetables in the shade all day. You're simply giving them a little relief during the hottest hours and when the sun is at its strongest. Now, before we move on to the next 5 tips, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who supports the Handmade Homestead and Garden. And if you're new here, I just want to introduce you to Aquidneck Island Linens. If you enjoy beautiful handcrafted items for your home, I invite you to visit my Etsy shop. I weave heirloom quality kitchen towels, household linens, and wearable pieces on antique floor looms using natural fibers. They make thoughtful, high-quality gifts for yourself or for someone special, and every purchase helps support this channel so I can continue creating free gardening videos like this one. You'll find a link to my Etsy shop right below in the video description, and thank you so much for supporting both traditional craftsmanship and this channel. Now let's get back to protecting your garden. Number 6, creating natural shade with taller plants. If you've been gardening for a while, you've probably noticed that some plants just naturally protect others from the afternoon sun and even from strong winds. And that's something we can actually plan for when we lay out our gardens early in the spring. One of my favorite ways to reduce heat stress is by planting taller and wider crops because they cast light afternoon shade over more sensitive vegetables. Sunflowers are wonderful for this, as are broad beans and pole beans and other climbing or trellised vegetables or fruits. They grow quickly and they can create a surprising amount of filtered shade. Corn can do the same thing. Cucumbers, they also can do that, and they like hot sun too normally. So those are really good choices. This interplanting can create small microclimates throughout your garden. Instead of every plant sitting in direct afternoon sun, some receive just enough protection to lower leaf temperatures and reduce moisture loss. Even with shade though, fruits and direct sunlight can still be damaging in prolonged heat waves. That's where this next tip comes in. Tip number 7, protect fruits from Sunscald with Kaolin Clay. One product I like to keep on hand during the hottest part of the summer is Kaolin Clay. When mixed and applied according to the label directions, it leaves a thin white mineral coating on the plant that reflects some of the sun's intense rays, much like sunscreen on your skin. That reflective coating helps reduce sun scald and can even help keep the surface of the fruit a little cooler during periods of extreme heat. It protects both the leaves, the stems, and the fruit of the plant. And even though the leaves are coated white, they can still photosynthesize with the Kaolin Clay on them. Kaolin Clay is unique in that it also helps reduce the powdery mildew that can come from all that summertime humidity, and it's also very, very good in repelling insects too. I use it all around my garden frequently and on my fruit trees.
During a heat wave, your vegetable garden becomes more than just a place to grow food. It also becomes one of the coolest, greenest, and most inviting places in the neighborhood. Rabbits, deer, woodchucks, rats, and other wildlife are all looking for moisture, shade, and something fresh to eat, and a well-watered garden can be incredibly tempting. So make sure you're on the lookout and you're doing what you need to control these pests too.
One product I've had really good success with is using fox urine around the outside perimeter of the garden and the gardening beds. It acts as a scent deterrent and often encourages browsing animals to move somewhere else. Heat also speeds up insect activity, especially flies around the compost piles, chicken coops, or other outdoor areas. I like to hang reusable or disposable fly traps before populations get out of control rather than waiting until they're everywhere. As always, I'll link everything I've mentioned today, including the shade cloth, row covers, Kaolin Clay, fox urine, fly traps, and several of my favorite gardening supplies, all in my Amazon shop, and you'll find those links down in the video description if you'd like to take a look. Now on to tip number 9. Grow more vegetables that love the heat. Not every vegetable struggles when temperatures soar. In fact, some absolutely thrive during hot summer weather. Okra is one of the best examples. It seems to love the heat and often becomes more productive as temperatures climb. Eggplant also performs beautifully once the weather turns consistently warm. Established peppers usually continue producing well. Basil grows like crazy. Sweet potatoes flourish in the heat. And southern peas are another excellent choice for hot summer gardens. One thing I've learned over the years is not to fight the seasons. By growing a combination of cool season and heat-loving crops throughout the year, there's almost always something ready to harvest in the garden. When we're prepared ahead of time by mulching, feeding lightly, watering correctly, lightly pruning, providing shade, protecting fruits, managing pests, and choosing vegetables that naturally thrive in hot weather, our gardens have a much better chance of continuing to produce right through the hottest weeks of summer. A little preparation today can save a great deal of disappointment tomorrow. I hope these tips help keep your garden healthy and productive and you harvesting all summer long. And if you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It lets YouTube know that this content is worth sharing with other gardeners. And here on your screen will be another video that I'm sure you will also enjoy. And I always love to hear your comments. I read and respond to all of them. I love this community and I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.